remain the law of the land with this new tax. Okay. Again, this is Congressman Bobby Schilling. This is a live Tele-town hall. If you'd like to ask a question at any time, just press *3 to enter the queue. So we're going to go on to our next one here. Let's see here. Like we're going. Lewistown. Joseph, are you on the, or no, this is Pat. Pat, are you on the line?
This is Pat.
Hi, how are you, Pat? Thanks for taking the call.
Yeah, thanks. My husband's downstairs with the kids. So
all right.
So quiet here. My question was pretty much answered because I was totally shocked when I heard that the justices, this bill went in just to see if it was constitutional. I thought that's the only problem we had, to see if it was constitutional or not. And they turned it around into a tax. And I am just so upset with what's going on in this country. And we have a president who comes out and tells people that he wants to do, they're just sidestepping Congress for everything. I don't understand what's going on, Bobby.
Yeah, and that's something that we're really trying to hone in on. And, when that decision came out, it came out of a hearing, and it was really kind of interesting, Pat, because it came out of the hearing, and the first thing I seen on the TV was that it was struck down, and then I was walking over across the street to the Capitol, I said, no, it was upheld, and I just can't get it around me. But here's the thing that we've got to focus in on, I truly believe, is, like I know, Pat, if you heard, I was talking earlier about, it's not about turning this political. This is about doing the right thing for future generations, because this thing has, it's got 20 new taxing agencies in it that are going to cost us so much more money. There's more than 150 new boards and agencies and programs. It's something that what we truly need is we don't need a big, huge bureaucracy, with 15 people that are going to be handpicked and appointed that are basically going to ration health care for our seniors. And, I'm sorry, but, my 90-year-old grandmother that lives next door to me, if she needs to have something done, I don't think it's fair that somebody's been handpicked by the federal government's going to come out and tell her yes or no whether or not she can have, something done. So, we've just got to continue pushing on. I signed on. There's a bill that I signed on to today that's going to be coming out here in the next week or so, but it's a bill that says, hey, look, you guys didn't tell us this was going to be a tax. As a matter of fact, you told us there was not going to be a tax, and we're talking about repealing the tax. So what we wanted to know today is exactly what you said. Is this thing constitutional or not? If it's not constitutional, then it comes out, but you can't just go in there and flip this thing into a tax on the American people, because that's going to really have an effect. Thinking about the people that are working 2 jobs to get by. Now all of a sudden the federal government is going to come in, big government's coming in, and they're going to say, look, if you don't want to buy health care, well, we're going to buy it for you, and here's your fine and penalty, and you've got to pay it or you're going to go get jail time. This is not how we do things in America, and that's why it's so important that Democrats and Republicans sit down at the table. We do this with transparency. The American people know what we got. Instead of doing a 2,700-page bill and just passing it through, break that thing down, into sections to where we can read and understand the full thing, to where we do what's good for the American people. I think that's one of the key things that we have to do. We have an obligation to future generations to make sure that they've got some good health care down the road. This plan does not do it. This plan will bankrupt the United States of America. So, hey, thank you very much for taking the call. We hope we can get this thing all switched around here. So, let's see here. Laura and East Moline. How are you doing, Laura?
Just fine.
Very good. Did you have a question?
Yes, I do. I was told that there's a cap on the age of, like in the 70s, that let's say you have cancer or other terminal illness, that if they determine you're terminal, you will receive no care. If you're over, I think it was 72. Is that correct?
I don't know if that's correct. I don't believe that is, but I'll tell you what I'll do is the one thing that we are, that they might be talking about the Independent Payment Advisory Board, and that's where there's the 15 bureaucrats that will come in, and they might say, oh, okay, we see that you're 65 years old, you only, you've lived a great life, here's a pill, rather than allowing you to have services done. So, but what I would be more than happy to do for you is I'll do a double check, but I've read through quite a bit of this, but the big thing
So the 15-member board that makes these decisions, that is true. There is a 15-member board.
Yes, there definitely is, and they're set up there to specifically reduce the cost of health care, and the only way they can do that, Laura, is by rationing health care to people across the United States.
Bullshit. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for calling.
Yes.
Okay, again, this is Congressman Bobby Schilling. This is the joint town hall meeting. If you'd like to ask a question, just press star 3. Again, by hitting the star 3, you can enter the queue. So we're going to go ahead and go to our next one. Looks like we're going to Silvis, Illinois. Daryl, are you on the line?
Yes, this is Daryl. I'm retired military, and I'm wondering how the health care bill is going to affect my military retirement as far as the medical portion that I've been guaranteed since I, was in the military and retired. They guaranteed me health care for life. Is this bill going to affect that?
Yeah, first I want to say, Daryl, thank you very much for your service. You serviceman. One of the things that I don't know if you were on the line earlier, but I was talking about that bill that I put through. Give you a quick story here. My dad, he died in 2005. And each week, my sister and I were running him back and forth to Iowa City hospitals. And about a week and a half before he passed on, we were literally having to pick him up, put him in the car, drive to Iowa City. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm glad it was there. But one day I thought, why is it that our heroes have to drive all the way, 2 hours in the car, rather than just going to, I don't know where you're at, but rather than going like in our area, we got Trinity Hospital. We've got several different good hospitals in the area. The president's budget that they put through, that they try to push through this year, actually took TRICARE, and I think their premiums are around $600 a month now. They bumped it all the way to $2,000 some dollars, and we fought that tooth and nail to make darn sure that our veterans didn't have to pay that big premium. I mean, here's the thing that I truly believe, and my dad taught me this as a little kid, is that if you make a promise to somebody, you keep the promise. Now, if you want to do some changes on do things coming up through, that's one thing. But once you make a promise to people, your word is as good as gold. And my dad told me it wasn't all in contracts. It's once it comes off your lips, that's the deal. So the thing I will tell you is this: is that there are several Democrats and Republicans that will not let these guys take advantage of our veterans. A lot of people, I love seeing some of the movies they got out because it helps educate some of our younger folks. But the key thing is the freedoms that we all enjoy. Every single person. There's a lot of people on this line today